Welcome to Creepy Countdowns. In today's video, we will be discussing 10 American urban legends that'll keep you up at night. Number 1. Black Aggie. Black Aggie is the folklore name given to a statue formerly placed on the grave of General Felix Agnes in Druid Ridge Cemetery in Pikesville, Maryland. The statue is of a somber seated figure. Beginning with its installation in 1926, the replica was surrounded by many urban legends, principally that someone spending a night in its lap would be haunted by the ghosts of those buried there, that the spirits of individuals buried at Druid Ridge would annually convey at the statue, that no grass would grow on the ground where the statue's shadow would lie during the daytime, or that the statue would animate itself during the night, whether by physically moving or by showing glowing red eyes. These urban legends led to much unwelcome attention toward the statue. Many people were caught breaking into the cemetery at night to visit it, and the pedestal was frequently vandalized. The Agnes family, disturbed by the attention the statue received, donated it to the Smithsonian in 1967. It sat for many years in storage at the National Museum of American Art, which was later named the Smithsonian American Art Museum, where an authorized recasting of the original Adams Memorial statue now sits. Black Aggie was moved from her previous home at the museum to a courtyard behind the Dolly Madison House on Lafayette Square in Washington, D.C., where she currently stands. The bare, blank pedestal remains at the statue's former home at Druid Ridge Cemetery. Number 2. Black Dog on Hanging Hills. A black dog is the name given to a being found primarily in the folklores of the British Isles. The black dog is essentially a nocturnal apparition, often said to be associated with the devil or a hellhound. Its appearance was regarded as a portent of death. It is generally supposed to be larger than a normal dog and often has large glowing eyes. It is often associated with electrical storms and also with crossroads, places of execution, and ancient pathways. The origins of the black dog are difficult to discern. It is impossible to ascertain whether the creature originated in the Celtic or Germanic elements in the British culture. Throughout European mythology, dogs have been associated with death. This association seems to be due to the scavenging habits of dogs. It is possible that the black dog is a survival of these beliefs. Black dogs are almost universally regarded as malevolent, and a few are said to be directly harmful. Some, however, like the black dog of the Hanging Hills in Connecticut, are said to behave malevolently. Number 3. Bleeding Sink. According to the story, in the 1960s, a student at a local college got drunk at a bar in downtown Helena and passed out in the bathroom on the 4th floor of the dorm. He hit his head on the sink as he fell, and his blood had splattered the sink as he slid senselessly to the floor and silently hemorrhaged to death. His death was considered a sad accident by the faculty, staff, and townspeople. The bathroom is said to have stayed locked until a student broke into it one day. It is said that he was attacked by the ghost of the boy and had seen fresh blood in the sink and on the walls. Number 4. Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary is a folklore legend consisting of a ghost, phantom, or spirit conjured to reveal the future. She is said to appear in a mirror when her name is called 3 times. The Bloody Mary apparition may be benign or malevolent, depending on historic variations of the legend. The Bloody Mary appearances are mostly witnessed in group participation play. Historically, the ritual encouraged young women to walk up a flight of stairs backwards while holding a candle and a hand mirror in a darkened house. As they gazed into the mirror, they were supposed to be able to catch a view of their future husband's face. There was, however, a chance that they would see a skull or the face of the Grim Reaper instead, indicating that they were destined to die before they would have the chance to marry. In the ritual today, Bloody Mary allegedly appears to individuals or groups who ritualistically invoke her name. This is done repeatedly by chanting her name in a mirror placed in a dimly lit or candlelit room. The Bloody Mary apparition allegedly appears as a corpse, a witch, or a ghost, can be friendly or evil, and sometimes is seen covered in blood. The lore surrounding the ritual states that participants may endure the apparition screaming at them, cursing them, strangling them, stealing their soul, drinking their blood, or even scratching their eyes out. The modern legend of Hanako-san in Japan strongly parallels the Bloody Mary mythology. A modern edition of taunting Bloody Mary regarding her baby indicates the legendary figure's conflation with the historic figure of Queen Mary I, also known as Bloody Mary, whose life was marked by a number of miscarriages or false pregnancies, and is remembered for her violent religious reforms. Number 5. Express Train to Hell. This legend is about a man who comes to a train station night after night. He claims that he killed a man and that an express train to hell is coming for him. Sure enough, at the stroke of midnight, he disappears right in front of the station master and passengers who are awaiting their trains. I have not found any history of this legend, but it is popular in many folklore forums. Number 6. Ghost Handprints. The legend goes that a school bus was hit by a train while stuck on the tracks, and all the children died. The ghosts are said to haunt the track and protect people who are in danger. The story continues with a man and his wife who get stuck on the tracks. They feel their car get shoved from behind just before being hit by a train. When they try to find the person who saved them, they see glowing handprints on the back of their car. They realize that the ghosts of the children who had died so many years before saved them from reaching the same fate. Number 7. La Llorona, Omen of Death. La Llorona, or the Weeping Woman, is a legendary ghost prominent in the folklore of Mexico. According to the tradition, La Llorona is the ghost of a woman who lost her children and cries while looking for them by the river, often causing misfortune to those who hear her. Although several variations exist, the most basic story tells of a beautiful woman by the name of Maria, who drowns her children in a river as a means of revenge because her husband left her for a younger woman. She realizes that her children are dead, so she drowns herself in the river. Challenged at the gates of heaven as to the whereabouts of her children, she is not permitted to enter the afterlife until she has found them. Maria is forced to wander the earth for all eternity, searching in vain for her drowning offspring, with her constant weeping giving her the last name, La Llorona. She is trapped in between the living world and the spirit world. Parents often use this story to prevent their children from wandering out at night. In some versions of this tale and legend, La Llorona will kidnap wandering children who resemble her missing children, asking her children for forgiveness and drowning these other children to take their place. But they never forgive her, and she keeps trying. People who claim to have seen her say she appears at night or in the late evenings from rivers or lakes in Mexico. Some believe that those who hear the wails of La Llorona are marked for death. Number 8. Sasquatch. In North American folklore, Bigfoot is usually described as a large, hairy, ape-like creature. Scientists discount the existence of Bigfoot and consider it to be a combination of folklore, misidentification, and hoax, rather than a living animal, because of the lack of physical evidence and the large number of creatures that would be necessary to maintain a breeding population. Occasional new reports of sightings sustain a large group of self-described investigators. Most reports of sightings are attributed to being various animals, particularly black bears. Number 9. The Screaming Tunnel. The Screaming Tunnel is a small limestone tunnel running underneath what once was the Grand Trunk Railway lines, now the Canadian National Railways, located in the northwest corner of Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. A local legend recounts that the tunnel is haunted by the ghost of a young girl, who after escaping a nearby burning building with her clothing ablaze, died within its walls. Several variants of the legend exist locally. One version has the girl set on fire by her enraged father after he loses custody of his children after a nasty divorce. Another tells of a young girl being raped inside the tunnel and her body burned to prevent any evidence from being found. The tunnel was used as a set during the filming of David Cronenberg's 1983 film adaptation of Stephen King's horror novel The Dead Zone. In an independent film titled Limestone Burning, they used the legend as a basis for the plot and was filmed at the tunnel and in surrounding Niagara Falls, Ontario and Buffalo, New York locations. Production was completed in late summer of 2012. You can check out more information about that movie on its Facebook page and also IMDb. Number 10. The Hook. The Hook, or Hookman, is a classic urban legend. The basic premise involves a young couple parking at a lover's lane. The radio plays while they make out, and suddenly a news bulletin reports that a serial killer has just escaped from a nearby institution. The killer has a hook for one of its hands. For varying reasons, they decide to leave quickly. In the end, the killer's hook is found hanging from the door handle. Different variations including scraping sounds on the car door, and some versions start the same way, but have the couple spotting the killer, warning others, and then narrowly escaping with the killer holding onto the car's roof. The couple are later killed. In an alternate version, the couple drive through an unknown part of the country late at night and stop in the middle of the woods because either the male has to relieve himself or the car breaks down and the man leaves for help. While waiting for him to return, the female turns on the radio and hears the report of an escaped mental patient. She is then disturbed many times by a thumping on the roof of the car. She eventually exits and sees the escaped patient sitting on the roof banging the male's head, which is severed, on the roof of the car several times. Another variation has the female seeing the male's butchered body suspended upside down from the tree with his fingers scraping the roof. References to this legend have been found from the mid-1950s to the mid-1960s. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to subscribe. Check out our Facebook page and our Twitter. And also, if you'd like to, you could check out our last week's video, which was 5 ghost videos. They're pretty creepy. Check it out. Have a great day, guys.